Welcome to the monstrosity of this 5-person conference call, or however you want to say it, that we got going on this week. Week 14 preview, playoff scenarios, and a few extra special surprises. The first surprise we'll start off with is some of you may have got some message from Josh. He's got some predictions from some of us that we can kind of kick off the podcast with. If you want to go ahead with that.
Yeah, so I actually messaged everyone in the league. I got an anonymous prediction for who they thought would win and who they wanted to win. So I'm gonna go by groupings. We have some common picks. I did not obviously get everyone to respond. I don't think that should shock anyone. I think everyone could probably guess. So it is anonymous. You're probably gonna be able to figure out who at least half the quotes are, but we'll see. So the first one, just starting off with the real nothing burger here. I asked this person, who do you think will win? They said, I'm not sure, to be honest. So not playing my game. They didn't even tell me who they're rooting for. So that's what.
Fair enough.
They're not sure.
Honest.
And yep, to be honest, I agree. I'm not actually sure. But I also didn't let anyone pick themselves.
Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna go with we have three main choices for who people think are gonna win. So I'll go with the least chosen option. 2 people picked this person. So the first person said, I've been saying all season long that Sam is an injury away from losing his rightful title. Now, 8 injuries later, I'm forced to realize this is the season of Sam. As such, I'm forced to go with Alan. That is fantasy football. So we got one vote for Alan.
Yes.
And the other person,
I would bet though, people think they can guess who that came from, and it's not me. That was not my quote.
That was too articulate. Yeah,
I think someone on this for 100% knows who it was. Well, I know, but besides me. Okay, well, how about this one then? Someone said, Alan, he has enough depth and versatility at all positions to overcome injuries or matchups. Would you say that's less articulate?
Well,
hold on. That just gives it away.
Yeah, well, okay.
Wait, Josh, are you implying that it's the guy who has said like twice a week for the whole season that injuries are really important and depth? Handcuffs.
He is consistent. Yeah, he is consistent.
Okay, well, I'll just say that the other person who said Alan was actually me. So me and Tony actually agree here, and we use similar logic when we talked about injuries.
Yeah,
that's a Tony is a good place to be.
Keep in mind, none of these guys can pick themselves, so that is the big caveat. Like, they were forced between the lesser of 2 evils.
I'm not sure. Maybe Alan.
I can't tell you. I'm done giving away answers unless someone wants to volunteer that it was
Alan
them.
Stole Greg's phone.
Hey, I'll volunteer all of mine. I told you I'd do full disclosure, so. Go ahead.
Tony was just going to say his quotes out loud. I kind of forced him to give them to me.
That's fine.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the second most chosen option. Someone said, honestly, it's got to be between Game of Jones and CMC. So who's it going to be? Who's the second most chosen option? I think Game of Jones looks better down the stretch. As good as Sam's team is, I could see that their roster having a down week and getting upset just because he's the obvious choice. It's the Georgia effect.
Oh, well, that makes it. It's one of 2 people there.
A lot of them people weren't trying to be very secretive.
I mean, that's definitely between Greg and Dwight. It's one of those 2.
That's a joke, Sam. Just so you know, that's a joke.
Yeah. I was gonna say, how the hell can it be my dad? Like he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
No joke. I did not realize Tony was joking.
I assumed that I was like, not even Tony could say something that crazy. So I called back to like Sam and I's joke that like we have to announce every time that there's a joke because it's not.
But the reason you guys were doing that is because I'm the one who can't pick up a joke, and ironically enough, I didn't realize he was joking. Right. I was like, no, it's neither of them.
I think Tony might have like started talking, and then he realized he said the first wrong name. So then he just said another a second wrong name, and then
No, I was
it by saying it was a joke.
It was fully a joke. I'm just bad at delivering, awful. As I'm paying attention to the basketball game still going on, but continue with your.
Dalvin Cook scored a touchdown. He now has the most rushing yards he's had in the first half ever.
Oh, damn.
What the?
Glad we told Jeff to sit Dalvin Cook tonight. Congratulations, everybody.
He has 7 carries for 120 yards and a touchdown.
Oh, so. Jeff, I'm so
goodness.
sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I would have sat him. If I had him anywhere, I would have sat him.
Yeah.
I look bad.
That's brutal.
Hey, someone has the.
All right, two more quotes for us.
The comments part, because I can't get it on my iPad. Sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
Nobody said anything.
Okay, so this anonymous person says, Josh and Squibb are the clear favorites. Sam got hurt by injuries and poor play lately and will fall short. Sam, any comments? Have you actually been playing poor lately? I'm not so sure.
I think I have. Definitely not scoring 200 points a week. That is for sure.
Oh, yeah, only 150 or whatever you scored last week.
No, I do feel like I've lost a lot of steam and momentum. That's for sure.
Kind
of, we got one other for us.
That would come from losing your number 1 pick.
Yep,
probably. Yeah.
I could see that. I think this person said, I think Game of Jones will run away with it. They've been solid all year. Probably lowest standard deviation of points scored and have been getting better over time.
That's
another one who we know who it is.
Well, hold on. I thought you couldn't pick yourself.
No, he said he picked out, and it's not me.
It's not me. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
What guy in the league talks about standard deviation and stuff like that?
Plus, he also didn't have a choice but to pick.
He
couldn't pick himself.
Well, he's been picking us publicly in the group chat all year. He's been trying to make people think that we are the favorites.
The clear favorites, yeah.
I don't know how. Yeah, undisputable in my mind, but
those words are what got me. All right, and finally, of course, the most chosen answer. I think that CMC has the horsepower to run the table. Another person said Sam, with an assist from Tony. Someone said favorites are Sam, Allen, and Game of Jones. I'll go chalk and pick Sam to win. And then someone finally said probably effing Sam. I told I'm not sure if I'm allowed to curse, but
go ahead.
The language was slightly more colorful. Took out some.
I wonder who that was,
but.
Or is that
nice? But that's a good. If you've been in the politics thread, you know my feelings on polls. That's not a bad poll, though. I like that poll. It represents a good size of the league, even though we didn't get 100% response rate. I still think that's a nice, varied response. And man, I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised that anybody likes me over really either one of you guys. I have had some good weeks, but I don't know. So I feel like I'm short somewhere. My quarterback play is so inconsistent. Like I'll get the 10-point game out of Dak or the weird game out of Rodgers, but I'm happy to know that aside from my own self, somebody has faith that maybe I can have a strong finish in this league. I thought it was obvious that it's a 2-man show, but
Alan, it's your defense, Alan. Giving up the fewest points by a wide margin. I mean,
I do, man. I'm the steel curtain. I am the steel curtain defense wise. Yeah. And we've talked about it. We talked about it in ABL. We've talked about football, the scheduling. It's a fluky thing, who you happen to play at the right time or whatever it is. You can, run into a guy on a bye and that's lucky, but I've had some pretty good luck, some pretty fortunate scheduling most of the year to have as low points against as I do. So I have no illusions there, but I'm in. So anything can happen now.
I just wanted to update because in the backstage we were talking about this. This is the second beer, so I'm on a good pace. We're only 9 minutes in. So
we were worried that Tony wouldn't be able to get them all in before they were room temperature because he pulled them all out of the fridge.
He pulled out like 6 or 7 at the beginning and then just have them all sitting on his desk.
That's true.
Tony, when it's cold there, what do you guys set your heat to?
Well, we like it really cold in the house, so about 66, 67. And
Hey, that's right about where we go too. 65, 66. Yeah.
During the summertime when it gets up to 80, 82, we have our air conditioner on 64, 65.
Oh,
but that's just because I know Sam is just having a heart attack down there in the bottom right corner. But that just I will the first few winters I worked up here in the bar. I'm not working as much now. I'd wear shorts to the bar 10 below. Cargo shorts to the bar. Cargo shorts and shoes straight through snow in the bar. Just because that's how my body adapts.
Crocs, right?
What?
Crocs, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even the insulated Crocs, just straight Crocs.
So there's just a guy in a big yellow Iowa hoodie and like camouflage Crocs walking
Carrying
into the bar, and he's not
pocket.
drunk yet. That's the thing.
No. Nope. That's true. That's true.
No,
I hate
that's
to
the
barge in
wheelhouse
on
for
this
us, too.
riveting conversation, but I do have a few more quotes because I didn't just ask people who they thought would win. I also asked them who they wanted to win. And so we also got a wide array of responses here. So just like last time, I'll go from the least common response to the most common. So I'll start with, like last time, it's not a very specific response, although it is way more specific than I do not know. This person said, whoever is the third seed, so it can shake up the league to really show anyone can win any day, no matter what.
Could still be Greg. Greg's still in competition for the third seed.
Yeah, somehow it actually could be.
Holy shit. I don't know.
But I like that. I like the wackiness of who can still make it and how. I enjoy that. I play in a lot of RT leagues where if you saw my rundown of my teams, I have a 10-3 team that might not make it. I have an 8-5 team that's not going to make it. And I have a 9-4 team I could make it. I have a pretty easy week ahead. I should make it, but in RT, you have to win the division or be the highest scoring team. And that's the only teams that make it. There's only 3 divisions. So only 4 teams make it. And you get squeezed out having not a shitty record. It's shitty to get squeezed out when you have a good record. I like the ways the different teams can make it in AFL specifically.
I will say that. Oh, whoa! I didn't even know Tony was here.
My everything's messing up. Full disclosure, that was my quote.
It was, yes.
I'm trying to get the cam to go back on. It's not. I'm going to dip out and then click the link back in. I'm having problems with this new. Who wants to buy Apple? Who wants to buy Apple? That's all I'm going to say. I'll be back.
Probably not the first shot that will be fired at Sam before the night's over.
Oh, Tony.
But I will say again, I do agree with Tony here. I think it'd be fun to see at least the 3 seed win one game when we have kind of been openly jockeying to be the 6th seed, because if you're not the 1st seed, it does kind of feel like that 6th seed is almost as good as a bye. So if we're talking like that, it'd be kind of fun to see that 3 seed win. So I'm with Tony here.
Sounds like I didn't miss much. Sorry.
No,
I do have another quote.
Second.
And I wanted to wait for Tony here. So someone said this: I'm a sucker for an underdog, so I'd go with Tony. Plus, it would deny Cooper Cup ring chasing with Sam. So someone does want to see Tony pull out the win.
I have a fan club. I didn't even know. Wow. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm your fan, Tony. I'm your biggest fan. Come on.
I know that.
Okay, moving on to our next most answered option. 3 people said. One person simply put Memphis Mark. Short, concise. I like it. Another person said maybe Mark for the comeback story.
Oh, wow.
And then,
sorry.
That must
I'm
be
watching
basketball.
college basketball highlights. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry, yeah, it was basketball.
And then finally, someone said, everyone knows Sam is good. Game of Jones tells everyone they are good. But no one seems to notice how good Mark is. He keeps his head down and grinds. I'll be rooting for him. Hail DOD, the Division of Death.
All
I
right.
wonder who that was.
So two things there. Mark does have a good team, and he always puts his head down. Like, I talk to him a lot, especially in baseball, for those of us in that baseball league. Like, he doesn't like it, but he always puts his nose to the grindstone and gets going. For live updates, for those who care, it was Rutgers hit a buzzer beater to beat Purdue, who's the number one.
This isn't even the Iowa game, Tony.
No, it's just sorry, yeah. Like, number one goes down in college basketball on a buzzer beater from half court. So,
but number one
go
doesn't
ahead.
even matter yet, right? Like, it's
Oh, it
just
doesn't.
like number
No,
one.
it doesn't.
Yeah, that shit
It
doesn't
doesn't.
matter right now. So,
It's just crazy.
I mean, still, yeah, it's a thing, but
yeah. Sorry, I was Josh. I keep
it's
interrupting.
not,
you.
even the,
Apologize.
it's not even the biggest sporting event of the year. He's giving us
Yeah.
updates.
Awesome. But we do have one more option. The most common option, again, is someone simply put, I'll be rooting for Allen. Someone else said, I'm rooting for Allen because I've seen him struggle in baseball and he deserves some cake for all the time and energy he puts into the AFN. Someone else said, I think Allen would be a great guy to win it all. LOL. Now, Allen, how does that make you feel? They said, I think Allen would be a great guy to win it all. LOL.
Did they laugh?
Sounds
Yeah,
like
LOL.
pity votes for Allen.
I guess I don't know how to take.
This guy's got
Really don't know how
the
to take it.
podcast. His baseball team
Yeah.
sucks. Like, let's throw him
Right,
a bone.
We do have one other. I thought this one was good. It said, I am going to put on the Chud's foam hand and sit at the 50-yard line at the AFL Bowl to root for the underdog. So there we go.
I didn't even know I was an
How-
underdog. I mean,
Yeah, he is the 2 seed with the locked in bye.
Locked in the 2 seed.
locked up
Like,
already, but I'm
locked
an underdog.
in by everything. Oh. And he's
I'll,
still.
I'm humbled. That makes me feel good. Now I want to pull out a win for the little guy, and hopefully I don't mirror my ABL playoff performance and get bounced in the first round. So
I just noticed something, and the other two who aren't participating in this activity may have noticed it as well, but I just noticed it now. Did you guys coordinate your Patriots jerseys?
What? What?
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Any
You
comments
noticed
on our names?
oh, geez.
You know, I did see an article earlier today. It was on Yahoo. I don't know where it originally came from, but it said, "Does Mac Jones deserve $65 million a year on his next contract? Here's why he could." And I didn't actually
65
click on
a
the.
year.
I didn't click. Yeah, $65 million a year.
By that point, like the salary cap's gonna be like $400 million though.
Yeah.
Probably.
Squibb, is that a game worn Edelman frame?
It's not game worn, but it's signed, and then this is a Devin McCourty signed,
Nice, very nice.
hanging up in my
Hey,
office.
why do you not call him Uzi?
What?
What?
Why do you not call him Mac
Mac
Jones?
10. That's an,
Yeah,
isn't
Mac
that
10
easy?
is
Like,
Uzi.
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even catch
I
that.
know what I was doing. I played Call of Duty.
No, I didn't mean to distract from your Jersey story, though, Squibb. Those are pretty cool, man.
I'm a fan of framed jerseys. I think they're a nice conversation piece, and they pretty much always look good because they always just look classy somehow. I don't know. I like framed jerseys.
The problem with a framed jersey is you can't hide it from the wife. You know, you get a baseball card, and it comes in the mail in a little envelope, you put it away. You know, you get a framed jersey, it's like, yeah, that was cheap, honey.
Now we know why Sam likes baseball cards and crypto and stocks, because they're like about as untraceable from your spouse as it gets.
Dalvin Cook just scored again, by the way.
Who did?
Dalvin Cook,
Cook.
Are the Vikings
Just
really,
scored.
what's it, like 17 or what?
23. It's about to be 23-0.
Oh,
Poor Jeff. He's like, Dalvin Cook's having a hell of a half, isn't he?
oh my God.
Yeah, I
He
can see.
only has 26.5 points.
Oh man.
Did
That's
Dwight,
bad.
hey, did Dwight play him
No, Dalvin Cook is on the bench.
in our league?
Yeah.
Ouch.
I mean, I can't fault him because I suggested to sit him in any format just because the uncertainty. But
I'm gonna try
To be
something
fair,
here.
Eskridge is in the flex spot, so I think I would play a one-legged Dalvin Cook.
One-armed. It's a dislocated shoulder. It's not a leg.
so I had.
Still, your point is valid, though.
So I did a little PowerPoint. And
PowerPoint.
Well, we can't Google slides. Sorry.
Yeah, so this is looking okay, Tony. Is this big enough, you think, to show on the screen? Will that be?
You know what Michael Scott says about
readable?
PowerPoint?
What's wrong with PowerPoint?
You know what Michael Scott says about PowerPoints, don't you?
Sorry, I'm clueless.
PowerPoint is boring.
I did Google Slides. Is that all right?
I
did.
He didn't specify.
No, you can pull that back up. It looked good, Alan. And I'll just go through the.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it I'm gonna try to make it your thing instead of the.
Oh, just so that people can see
instead of the league.
2 minutes that I spent on that, which was next.
It has a nice. I'm just now looking at it for the first time, and
really?
It has a nice. Yeah, it has a nice title page.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Do we know what? Okay, nice. Okay, I was
ahead.
gonna say, do we know what this is gonna be?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
I
It could be
Alan.
anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. Yeah, it could be anything.
It really could be anything. All right, so let's see. This is the Week 14 preview plus playoff scenarios and trash talk.
Yeah.
With Alan, Game of Jones, Sam, and Tony. Oh shit! Oops.
Tony's
Is
not.
this fine? This is the next one. Okay, so
Yeah,
we're
that's
jumping
Not
right
only
into it.
not a fan of the Oxford comma, just doesn't like commas at all.
No, not any comma
No,
at
I-
all. Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
apostrophes.
No.
Hold on, Tony. Did
Nothing.
you just open a beer?
Yes, I did. The dogfish.
We get a shotgun ready? We get a shotgun ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Go, Tony. Go, Tony. Oh my God!
That was a blowout.
Did Sam just crush that in like 2
Yeah.
seconds?
Yeah, and he
What
didn't
did
even
you
like
drink,
shotgun
Sam?
it. He just like
Sam, what were you drinking?
Sam, can you open your throat and just keep it open?
That was
All right,
that was
hold on.
incredible.
Hold on. Mine
didn't
is
even, like,
the
pop it
dogfish
like you normally
IP.
do.
Like,
Yeah, he did.
Hold
He
on.
drank that like he's back in college.
no, he didn't. He didn't even pop it and then like shotgun it like
Oh.
sideways. Like he just like poured it into his mouth.
I'm hurting. Well, mine's an
amazing.
IPA.
Yeah, yours is
Tom
an
Brady,
IPA.
who?
To be fair, mine's like
Tony's
5 and
Tony's like trying to chug like a 12% over there. Like,
Yeah. And I got to like here, so
Josh is chugging a gallon of water. Tony's chugging a 12% IPA, and Sam's chugging a Pabst.
Yeah. I think
that
there's
was
a little
amazing.
bit of a difference.
That was impressive.
Oh man. So we were talking about Dwight. I mean, this kind of forays into that, and we talked about Dwight not playing Dalvin. It seems like, correct?
Well, that's a shame because this has massive implications. My dad's
100%.
team, the Garoppolo,
it says it
Silence,
right there in the
need Vince
first
to
line
lose.
there, Alan. Spot
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, has massive, not massive, but a lot.
Yeah,
a lot of
not a lot.
implications.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm not even. Okay, that was bad.
That's all right.
bad
Don't worry.
hosting.
It's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Jesus.
But yeah, because of the Garoppolo sign, they need Vince to lose. To have any shots. The Garoppolo silence, the real underdog in this whole thing. I think if there's an underdog team that maybe has a chance at the playoffs, that's probably the guy. But
man.
with Dalvin Cook not starting for Dwight, that's probably going to hurt those chances. What the hell is that now, Tony? What is that? The peanut butter porter?
Yeah, it's peanut butter porter. Go ahead.
Oh no, he is. I just had to double check that he is. He has 26.4 points on the bench.
And how many of those are
Chase Claypool is playing right now for the Jamal Full team. He only has 3.3 points, and he's kind of been a bum most of the year.
He did have a gross fumble today.
And he had a early personal foul call as well for poking what's his face Perryman in the side of the head or something with his finger. Stupid penalty. So the game, the matchup's not over by any means just because Cook isn't getting started, but you would like, if you're the Garoppolo's team especially, you really would like to see 30 points put up from Dwight on a Thursday night, but If Claypool keeps being Claypool, maybe not getting that Cook game doesn't kill Dwight. I think his lineup is probably set to what it's going to be for the week.
I kind of asked you this earlier. How hard is it to switch back and forth?
It's kind of a pain in the dick.
Okay, never mind then. Don't worry.
Yeah, because I have to stop sharing the one and then reshare another one and then pull that off. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass. But
okay, that's fine.
Track's projections, as it is right now, they have Vince winning by like 3 points. So still very close. Now, again, this is Tracks and their projections, but that's how they are looking at the matchup as it is right now, is about a 3-point win for Vince.
Can I give you Josh, Squibb, and Sam like a minute or two to pull up the fan tracks to see like the lineups so we can talk about each matchup for just about like a minute or two or whatever?
Talk about anything. I have to pee. Yeah, talk about something.
So I'll give you guys a few seconds. I've got it pulled up. I can get it on my phone here real quick.
I'll be right back too.
I've got it pulled up, but I was just gonna add that I remember. I mean, it probably is like 4 or 5, maybe like pretty much pre-Russell Wilson injury. I remember Vince's team was pretty horrifying, and at that point, it was before Sam had made some of the trades he ended up making. He looked like maybe a front runner to win the whole league, and now Russ definitely came back early from injury. Last week, he looks a little more like himself. If Russ is himself, that definitely makes that Jamaffle team a little bit more scary of a 3 seed, or maybe look more like a 3 seed, I should say, than kind of like the 6 seed we've been calling it.
It doesn't look like the 6 seed is as much of a cakewalk, as we thought. Like whoever wins East, because I was the one who was tooting Vince's horn a lot, like he had Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. He had depth at the quarterback position with Jordan Love and Sam Darnold. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but he became Sam Darnold.
So I'd say a lot of his pick, right? But what may have cost Vince a little bit is when he got some injuries, he kind of just sat there. He's not as available on the Discord. And so he hasn't made as many trades to say like when Sam has gotten injuries or when one of our tight ends has gotten injured every week, where both of us constantly make moves up there. Whereas Vince, he had those injuries and he seemed content just kind of sitting there. Is that a play for the long-term future? Is that him recognizing that his isn't very good? I don't know. But I think it hurt Vince a little bit, at least in the present value term.
So knowing Vince, like I've known Vince longer than I've known all of you combined. Backstory, I used to referee soccer from 1997 to about 07, and that's how I knew Vince. And we've stayed in touch since I met him in the early 2000s. He runs a few leagues, and that's how I got fantasy in touch with him. He's he doesn't like trading in fantasy leagues. He's more of a, you do what you do, and he doesn't like to deal with the trades type of thing. So he's going to try to improve his team without trades. That's just his philosophy. That's how he'll do things. May not work, but that's how.
Speaking of his philosophy, Tony, may I just add that Vince made a controversial decision early in the year where he was up in a game and he decided to bench a player even though he was up like 20, 30 points. He's now sitting in a scenario where if Dwight wins and outscores him by 2.7 points, he's out of the playoffs. That was a big mistake.
I'm not gonna.
I believe it was DeAndre Swift too, who probably is like one of his top 3 or 4 players.
100%.
Probably put up like 15, 20 points. So it certainly could come back and be the difference.
It could. 100%. And then he has DeAndre Swift on his bench now, if I'm still looking right.
Yeah, while you're looking, I also sorry, I just got a lot. I got a lot to say about this match, but I'm a little surprised.
Go ahead.
Dwight is a sneaky team. Dwight is one of our 2 losses, if I'm not mistaken, Squibb. So
he is not.
Don't.
It's Allen and Don.
It's Don, but okay. So I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Dwight gave us a little bit of a scare when we played him. So I don't know if I necessarily want to play either of these teams. No offense, Greg. I might be rooting for you to kind of pull up the upset and get in if I'm the 6th seed. But with a healthy Russell Wilson and Dwight's team's one of those teams that can put up a lot of points, a lot of upside guys. So.
Did you guys see Russ say that he would waive his no trade to go to the Giants, the Saints, or
it was
the Broncos? I think
but
it was.
He did come out today and say that was false.
Not
sure if he's just like
Russell Wilson on the Broncos would be awesome.
Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos is probably
Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos. Gardner Minshew to the Broncos would be awesome. I mean. Man, I don't know. Those receivers need somebody. I saw that
video you talked about with him and his dad. That was awesome.
Oh, Gardner Minshew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big time Gardner Minshew fan. I feel like there's probably not 30 quarterbacks starting better than him right now. I feel like he should be a starter somewhere, and eventually he will be. So I'm glad I tried to trade Tyrod, and I like Heineke. Heineke kind of has that same kind of thing going. He's scrappy and gritty, which just means he's white, I know, but he is. So, but I like those guys.
Are we done on this one? Yeah, we can move on. I was just going to say, don't blame Dwight for the decision, but I think that Dalvin Cook benching, that could be the difference. That's a lot of points. I would have maybe made the same decision too. So
I'd be very upset with myself right now if I was, because I would have sat him. I would have. Man, that injury looked terrible. You never see an upper body injury where the guy needs the cart to get off the field. You figure there's no way he's going to come back and look like Dalvin Cook. He looks amazing.
What's nice about it?
It's not even him. It's like I don't know what's up with the Steelers defense. I'm sending something in the Discord now, but it's a tweet showing just like the holes that Dalvin Cook has had, where like his shoulder's been irrelevant because he just has this 10-foot hole, and it's not like he's out there like trucking people, breaking tackles. Like, I mean, the holes are insane.
What we got here is
so your dad accepted my trade.
Oh my God! You made a trade. You made a trade with the ABL Padres. Congrats, Tony! Another one off the list. Yeah. You've got only the Yankees and who the hell's D-backs?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yankees and D-backs.
No, I got one of the D-backs, but that's baseball. Sorry.
Oh, nice. Look, baseball's not illegal on football. If it happens in the flow of conversation, that's great. But as Tony looks lovingly up into the Iowa game, look at how much love he has for that team.
I'm not even going to tell you what's going on. Go ahead.
Look like a high school yearbook photo where they're like, look up and look like God is staring down at you.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad.
So yeah, this next one is kind of the aforementioned Galapagos Islands. This is them and the New Zealand team, the Hairy team. Greg wins and Vince loses. Lock up the 3 seed. If Vince wins, Greg needs to outscore Vince by around 90 points. Not going to happen. Currently, this match projects to be close, but I feel Harry has a few roster adjustments need to be made. So let's go to the other screen and take a look. We're not going to do that, on the big screen, but let's take a look. Trax does have Harry projected to win. He does have Deontay Johnson going tonight. Boy, I don't know. This is another really close one. The Trax projections is about 2 points.
He updated it since I've done this. Harry updated it because when I did this in the middle of the afternoon, Harry did not have a complete lineup. He had 2 or 3 guys in positions not in there. Now he has everything legit. So I take back what I said from the PowerPoint.
We were talking about it.
Going now, and Garoppolo has Cousins going now. That's the action going tonight for the 2 of them.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was just gonna add. We were talking about it before the pod. We were talking about the D-backs in the baseball league and kind of how they've just quietly sat there. Didn't have the best season, but late in the season kind of made a surge and low key have one of the best minor league systems in the entire ABL without really doing much. I feel like Harry looks very similar in the sense that he wasn't good early in the season, kind of had some unfortunate injuries, but because of that, he's got a lot of young stars on his team, and now he's starting to get a little healthier, or the young players are starting to get a little more experience. He's starting to surge. That's not good for Greg and his playoff chances.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone go ahead?
I was just gonna say when I heard Josh talking while I was peeing, he was very right about Vince. Like early on, I remember saying it in the pod. Like Vince looked like the way we talk about Sam now, you know, like or the way we've talked about Sam the last several weeks. That's how Vince looked the first 3 or 4 weeks into the season. Like we were saying, Vince looks like a monster. Vince is steamrolling everybody, and it really has turned around for him now to where, yeah, maybe Russ did come back early, but it's kind of like he's got a lot of Jamar Chase type performances where it's just guys not doing what you feel like they should be doing, because from how, especially I talked about him early in the year to how I think we're kind of all looking at him now and how his team has been performing the last 5 or 6 weeks. It has been a hell of a turnaround. And Josh is also right about Harry. Harry, he's got picks. He's got youth. He might have kind of thrown in the towel early this year. He had the ETN injury and I think a couple more. But Harry is not a pushover team, and he's not going to be going forward. I don't know that there is one. I mean, I don't think there's an easy team in this league, really. I mean, even record-wise, you look at Cal or whatever, but he was right there with points. Mark's been right there with points. Like I don't think there is an easy win in this league. Even the Garoppolo's team that maybe looked like they were cashing in the chips and playing out the rest of the season, they're fighting for playoff spot. They're not a pushover.
You're
Somebody
muted, Josh. I don't know if you noticed that. Oh, sorry.
I was intentionally muted.
No, that's fine. And I agree, because those who suffered, I didn't suffer through it, but those who suffered through watching it, the 4 hours with Harry, he has a lot of depth, and he intentionally went youth. Like, he explained that specifically, and it's not an easy team to, when we do the reshuffling, I don't want to be in Harry's division. He'll be good in years 3, 4, 5 of this league because of all of the youth he has.
I come on here kind of to toot the horn of Game of Jones because I don't think it gets enough. I just want to say that Harry did have a young team. I believe he had the second youngest team. There was a younger team, and that was Game of Jones. And Game of Jones has been playing well. So I don't think youth is a legit excuse. It's not like the MLB. You can have youth and you can play well. So just putting that out there.
That's fine. He had some bad injury luck.
That's fine. You're 11-2. That's fine.
Yeah. Sorry. Full disclosure. Just give me 10 seconds to be pissed. I was down 12 at half, and they were a 5-point favorite. So continue on.
Yikes.
Gonna piss off some bettors.
Yeah.
Who can guess what Harry's record over the last month has been?
I'm gonna say 2-2.
I don't think he's 3-1. 2-2 sounds good.
The fact that you're asking us the question though makes me want to go to 3-1.
He's 3-1.
Go ahead, Sam.
That's crazy.
The only team
it's
lost
impressive.
to, I think, was Game of Jones, maybe. Or maybe that's 5 weeks ago.
To be fair, as we've talked about, we've talked plenty about the division of death. I think whatever, I don't know whether that's West or East or whatever it is, but whatever division
East.
that is whatever
It's
the
not
opposite of the division of death is.
Yeah.
And
It's not good.
It's been interdivisional matchups. So just pour a little bit of a grain of salt on that.
We're giving Harry probably a little too much flack here. His team is scary in the future. It is for sure. I'm with Tony. Don't want to be in his division.
Has everyone looked at the possible? And I mean, I know it's not a full year, but it's 95% of it. When I posted the whole, I'm
disappointed to be in. Jeff, I think, is even more so of like a future threat than Tony is, because he's, as we've talked about, piled up a bunch of picks, but then I think he has like a 3-headed monster of who is it? Saquon. It's like Saquon, Kamara, and someone else. I forget who.
Yeah.
But
that our division wasn't. It was just the division of death, but we swapped Sam for someone.
Yeah. That's true.
Which he's a very key factor to it being the division of death, but it was a little bit like, oh, that sucks. It's the same division.
Sam, do you have anything you want to add?
Oh, I'll just say that lions do not concern themselves with the affair of sheep. So put me wherever I need to win.
The one thing I kind of know about New Zealand, other than Lord of the Rings, is I feel like they have a lot of sheep there. So
it's true. That's why Harry's been so busy lately. Actually, it's shearing season.
Shearing
so,
season.
Yeah.
So now we're to Jeff to Mark. Is that where we're at?
Yeah, we'll go to Jeff versus Mark, which is the Moon Man versus the Memphis Pharaohs.
Hey, can I ask, is there a way you can make this in slideshow? Because I want to save like the last part. I don't want those guys to see the last slide.
Tony, we can't see that.
Oh, wait, sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. I left
Perfect.
my microscope in the other room.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
This is probably.
This looks better anyway. That was a good call.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. So we got the Tony write-up. Mark, as everyone knows, is in a matchup against points for the most part. If he outscores Tony by 75, he locks up a playoff spot, and then things get tricky for him due to his differential with Don. If Mark wins and Don loses, and Mark outscores Don by around 43 points, Mark will be the 5 seed and Don will be the 6 seed. Either way, Mark is looking good for a 5 or 6 seed. Jeff has made some moves late in the season, and his team could give lowercase Mark a run for its money this week and eliminate, again, lowercase Mark's chance of a 5 seed. So,
my grammar is
no
awful.
respect.
We all know that.
How about the around very specifically 42
around 42.97 points, give or take. Yeah.
I will say that the idea of him outscoring Tony by 75 points in a single week seems absurd, but Tony, you've it's not the last couple weeks, but recently you put up some tough weeks.
Decent points. So yeah. This is kind of like, in my 2 cents on this is, Mark's in a tricky situation because we've all talked about the whole, he wants to try to get the 6 seed, obviously, to go against the 3 seed that we perceive as easier matchup against the East. But I mean, if you try to go
confidently, it's the easier matchup than the loser of Sam and Gaming Jones this week. I think that's pretty. I don't feel like I'm saying something controversial.
It is. But what I'm trying to say is, you run the risk if you tank too much, you might not get in. I'm not trying to say that it's easier, perception-wise. We're all adults and we all see the numbers here. That
I think you're right.
The East Division is easy, but it's a tricky situation for Sam where he could try to tank too much to not win in case I beat Don, and then I might be able to outscore him by that differential.
What would have to happen for him to miss?
If he loses to me and I outscore him by what did I put up there? I'm sorry.
The way you word it sounds like you're up on him, but I'm assuming that's actually not true.
No, I'm not up on him. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so you would have to win and outscore him by 75 to.
I guess that's
for him to get nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
If only there was someone on this pod who's a self-proclaimed expert at scoring 200 points in a week.
If I could, in theory. You could look at some of Mark's point totals, and some of them are in the 150s, 140s, and 130s. And this isn't to disparage him, but he can still have 70, 80, 90-point weeks. And Mark's team
looks good, though, man. He gets Mahomes, Mahomes at home against the hated Raiders. He gets Ayuk with probably no Deebo Samuel. He's got Eckler in a great situation against the Giants. He's of course got Stafford, which the Cardinal defense has been pretty okay, if not good. But Mark has that team that if he finally gets one of those weeks where Stafford and Mahomes both go off, and maybe if Zeke looks like Zeke again, maybe Zeke is never going to look like Zeke again, but Mark has a very good team that you could easily see pacing the league in scoring on any given week.
Is he still playing Pollard and Zeke?
At the moment, he does not have. Oh wait, at the moment he does have both of them in there. Yes,
Pollard's injured,
he has
so
for
I
the
don't
past
think
couple
he's going to.
Yeah, that's right. Like he could go.
Yeah,
he could go Deontay Foreman. Yeah, Pollard. He's not going to stick Pollard in there, so he probably. Maybe he goes. Maybe he puts Eckler in that RB spot, and then the flex is.
Who else is he going to put in? You guys say Deontay Foreman, but
Deontay Foreman or Bryan Edwards. I guess that's about the only logical. Yeah, he's not going to stick Foster Moreau in there.
We gave Tony a lot of crap for when he traded for Mark's running back in Buffalo, and Mark may be wanting those running backs right about now. So,
and the other thing too is that for some reason, Matt Breda or whatever was still out there. So I have to show the commitment to handcuffs. I had Matt Breda, Zach Moss, and Devin Singletary. Like, I'm committed to handcuffs that deep.
Well, let's take one second. Mark is projected to score 132 points.
We believe you. We've seen it.
Yeah.
Mark is projected to score 132 points, and he's been pretty much without all year long Calvin Ridley and AJ Brown.
Yeah,
he's projected to put up in the low 130s, and he's missing two guys that probably coming into the year were consensus top 5 dynasty receivers. Maybe not Ridley, but I know a lot of guys are putting AJ Brown number 1 or at least top 5. A lot of guys are putting him number 1, and I know a lot of guys were all over Ridley. So Mark doing what Mark has done with the not even injury. I mean, Brown's been injuries, but Ridley is the mental stuff. But just doing what he's done, and he's still projected to put up big points without two upper echelon wide receivers. It's pretty impressive.
Hey, Squibb, I got a question for you. It looks like you were looking up at the TV. Are we at half of this football game?
It's just about to start the third quarter. Yeah.
Okay.
Feels like it's been a very long halftime, though.
Did they have like a performance by someone, or?
No, I don't think so. I think it was just, I don't know.
So we're moving on to this one. There's Alan.
Yeah, Tony wrote this one in the first person or whatever. He's
Unless
it's the battle of the 3 letters. One versus Don.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Tony versus the Don matchup. Unless I being Tony, outscored Don by around 116 points. Don is locked into either the 5 or the 6 seed. So if we remember what we just discussed, it looks like Mark is pretty well locked into a 5 or 6 seed. And now this one has Don pretty well locked into, things can happen, but pretty well locked into a 5 or 6 seed. It all depends on how much Mark puts up against Jeff. Right now, Don has the inside track on the 5 seed, but if he loses and Mark wins, plus makes up the ground needed, Don will drop to the 6 seed. Tony needs a miracle, assuming this miracle does not happen, Tony will have a first-round bye in the console bracket.
We're not in first person. So, I just realized.
so Tony is himself saying that Tony looks in pretty good shape in the console bracket already. Let's take a look and see the players Don is missing this week and how the matchup looks.
Can I just say real quick? Don, mute. Don, don't listen to this. You need to mute. Okay, Tony, listen. We have to really sell Don that he needs to tank for that 6 seed. So we're going to tell Don he needs to tank, and then maybe if he tanks enough, we can get you outscoring by 116.
Can I tell you something? You made a mistake because you had to tell Cal to tank to mute too.
Oh shoot. No.
Yeah, you just
Okay,
wrote-
maybe a little inside track. If you noticed in my quotes, no one said they wanted Don to win, and there was someone who you would think
And
would
nobody
pick
said
Don.
that they thought Don would win.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
because
true.
he said I was in a league where his dad won and he was insufferable about it. So he doesn't want his dad to win. So
No,
if
he doesn't,
anything,
yeah.
we need Cal make sure that Don mutes this. Make sure your dad mutes this. We're gonna get Don to tank, and Tony, you're gonna beat him by 116 points.
So I want to ask this. You do not have any kids, correct, Josh?
No.
Okay. Sam, you have sons, right?
I have 2 sons and 2 daughters.
Yeah, we quite
you
literally
want-
saw one of his little girls like at
Yeah,
the top.
that's
of
what I was
the
saying.
podcast.
Like, well, I was saying sons specifically. I saw the
Yeah.
daughters. I knew he had sons. Would you want your son in about 10 years to come and beat you in fantasy anything?
Of course. You always hope
Oh,
that
you
your
want-
children do better than you.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. I mean,
They gotta earn it. Don't get me wrong. You're gonna give everything.
Tony, you're
You
forgetting the
want
part
them-
where Sam's got some prodigies over there.
that's go ahead.
I was gonna
Sam.
say Sam would just take credit for like training them and harnessing their skill and overcoming, and he would probably be right. So it's win-win for Sam,
Go ahead, Sam. You were saying something. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say you always hope your children do better than you, but they've got to earn it. They're only gonna do better because you made it so hard that when they face, whoever else, they've got the experience and the knowledge and they put in the time to be good. So yeah, if my kid checks his roster, Sunday at 10:30 on the way to church and realizes he's got 3 guys on by and should have made a trade, no, I don't want that kid to beat me. He needs to learn the hard way. If he trades his draft picks for the next 3 years for a cup of soup, I mean, he's got to learn, But
It's a very specific
Can I-
example.
Can I pop
3
this?
first-round picks for a cup of soup.
Hey, this is the last beer. I'm popping this just because Sam said it.
Tony's trying to change the subject, but
Yeah. Go ahead, Sam.
Sam, I have an idea for you. If you really want them to go through hardship when they're playing fantasy, why don't you just force them to play on Fantrax?
Ooh,
That's a very good point.
ooh, that's a good
Boom,
one. That's
then
a
they'll
good one.
learn.
It shows
Yeah.
you how
Learn you better
life
double and
hands you
triple check your fucking
circumstances that
lineups.
You can't change and you can't control, and that they just have to adapt and they have to make it work.
that's right.
And I bet Tommy Hansen will still be in the baseball draft pool by the time Sam's kid is ready to join the ABL. Poor dead Tommy Hansen will still be in that draft pool for no reason.
Sam's kid's gonna come to him, Dad. I saw that Christian McCaffrey was projected for 30 points. I don't understand why he got none. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I just picked up this Henry Ruggs guy on waivers.
He's just getting out of prison. Yeah, I heard he used to be good.
He's projected for 15 points this week
Oh no!
in the Las Vegas County prison.
Remember back when I was a little kid, he got in some kind of car accident. Well, now he doesn't have the mileage on his body. So
What just happened?
Hey, did you have this much fun in your podcast before this, Josh?
No, definitely not. I did have fun, but not this much.
Is there anything else we like? I have a miracle I need. It's not going to happen.
We created a plan. Don, you can unmute now, by the way.
Don
Don,
is playing a wide receiver in his super flex as it is right now. He's got Freiermuth going tonight, and he's playing Rondale Moore in his
Hold on.
super flex.
He didn't start Big Ben.
No, he didn't.
Maybe he's already
Big
tanking.
Ben, so
maybe Don wasn't able to get to a computer or something, but he.
Wow.
Yeah, that's
fine. I mean,
Don, if you win this week, you don't get to play the 3 seed. You need to lose this week. You might as well play no one.
You might as well play Big Ben. That's probably
he's
worth
already
I
had a
don't
good
wanna
start
encourage-
with not starting the QB in the super flex. So,
Just bench
but
them
maybe
all.
he just
on.
didn't like Ben, and Ben has not been good tonight. So
hold on.
maybe that ends up
I want to say
looking
this
really nice.
because Mr. Quiet in the middle, which is in the 3 spot right now, just literally proposed a trade to me that I haven't even got a chance to check. So he's trying.
That means
like,
we're not
take
getting to
advantage-
Sam enough on the pod. If he's working out deals and shit, that means we're not asking him enough questions.
Sammy, you already have all of his first, dude.
Yeah. What more can he give?
What are you even
What
asking?
do you want?
About for the good of the future of the league, redistribute the wealth.
I haven't even. I'm just saying. I just got the because Apple, because everyone knows Apple. I just got the little notification thing that says, "Hey, Sam proposed to trade you." I mean, looked at it.
Just accept it. You're gonna want it.
Yeah, you probably don't even need to look. Yeah,
I'm so
I just-
nervous.
Is there anything else we need to say about my matchup with Don?
not
Probably not.
really. Well, it'll be interesting to see
Alan?
if Don keeps Rondale more in the super flex, but even if he doesn't, it's not going to be a QB there. We know that because Ben's going tonight. So that's the most interesting part to me is that he chose to not start the QB in the super flex. Because starting Darrell, he's got Darrell Williams in there too. Like CEH is back. I don't know how useful Darrell Williams is going to be. So it kind of looks to me like maybe Don didn't get to a computer tonight. He could correct me if I'm wrong, but just looking at his bench and the rest of the team, he probably, maybe it looks good not to, but he probably should have started Roethlisberger in that super flex.
Sam doesn't have his volume muted. I'll say that much. But go ahead.
Let's see. The next one Tony wrote up here is me, Allen versus Cal. Allen is the 2 seed no matter what. And I have people, pulling for me and is the only locked in seed of all 12 teams, even the consolation teams. Cal at this point in this matchup is playing for the $3 for the matchup win and to improve his seeding in the console bracket.
That's awesome.
Which after the first round gives teams $10 per win. So that's a who's on the 10? Eisenhower? Who's
No.
on the 10?
So just so you guys know, because you guys are all locked in pretty much to the
Hamilton.
winners bracket.
The
You
$10
need a $10 bill.
founding father
A
without
$10
a
bill
father.
for everything
Come on.
after.
Yeah, just for the record, I knew it wasn't Eisenhower. But yeah, so Cal's playing for that
Jeff,
console.
when
Let's see
Jeff
how
hears
Allen
this,
and Cal-
Jeff's going to be mad that you don't know the musical Hamilton.
He might
I think
pull
it's Jeff
his,
that likes it.
his vote for you. He might start pulling for someone else.
Who said
That would-
Jeff voted for Allen?
I thought we concluded that, but maybe not.
I can neither confirm nor deny, but if I had a gun to my head,
If he
I
did.
would not deny.
I started Alexander Madison. He was projected for about 19. He scored 2 thus far, and there's 12 minutes left in the third. So that is going to hurt. I was projected, or am, however you want to say, projected to beat Cal by a decent margin. But I could easily see me having a shitty week. They're again projecting Kyle Pitts for 13 points. He hasn't done that since October 24th. So I don't know where they get some of this stuff from, but I mean, Cal is still not a team you necessarily want to play.
I feel like we've said
He
that
does
about
have
every
Melvin
team
Gordon
so
in that
far.
super flex. I know he was a little banged up, and after the Javonte Williams game last week, I think Denver would be crazy to not at least go 70-30 Javonte, maybe. I mean, Gordon's going to play if he's healthy, but I would love to see him not getting. And I guess it doesn't really matter to me. I can lose and I'm still fine, but I don't
Not
want
if you
to
want
lose.
the $3.
Yeah, I want the $3, and I want the double-digit wins. I want everything coming to me, so I still want to beat Cal, and I hope I do.
Can we clarify something on the money?
Go ahead.
A playoff team gets what, like $10 or $25 or something like that for winning, right?
26.
Okay. Does the first and second seed get paid 26 for having a bye?
Each division winner gets $20.
But I don't win for getting a bye, so I actually want to lose
$20.
game.
No,
That can be-
$20.
I mean, I'd
You get
rather have
$20.
$26 than $20.
Yeah, I'd rather have
I'm just
$26
telling
than
you.
20.
But you're not. You're a guaranteed 20. instead of
That's true. Yeah.
No. What they're saying is he has no opportunity to win $26 because
the number 3 division winner gets $20 and gets to play for 26, whereas the 1 and 2
In the first
get
round.
$20, but we don't play for
Financially
20.
speaking, the 3 spots the
Hold on.
best.
So for let's just hypothetically say that you beat Game of Jones, just to make this interesting.
That's a big jump, but I'll
that's
try
fine.
to
No, that's fine. Let me explain
reality.
this.
Yeah.
Game of Jones only gets $5 for second place. Sorry.
Okay.
If they don't win their first round matchup, all they get is that $5.
But if they win, they get 31 when I got 20.
Yeah.
20. Yeah, correct.
I'm with Sam here.
Correct.
We can't win our
correct,
first week
correct.
matchup.
Correct.
Because I got a lot of pizza to pay for, Tony. And if
I get it.
If my wife sees pizza in Boston on my credit card, I'm in trouble.
Hey, can I say that
She's already going to see some.
I paid all 3 of you guys the difference that whatever's going to happen with that you don't have to worry about the money.
Well,
but hold on. I will revisit that.
Sam makes a good point. I mean, even if I wasn't one of those teams that had a bye, Sam does make an interesting point that I didn't really think about.
And I will say that, like, I did not look that deep into it. Full disclosure, I didn't look that deep into it, but it gives that advantage. That will be adjusted for the following year.
Let's just say
to make sure.
All the consolation bracket money goes to me and Sam, I guess.
So
just to make it
Tony,
clear.
Thanks for doing that. Is it possible to adjust it for this year? I mean, no one has been paid yet. I don't think. I think people would understand.
It's pretty straightforward. Like, you have like the playoff bracket money like split out, and you just like divided it by like, what is it, like the 5 or 6 different matchups?
I tried to.
So then just make it like so that
percentage. Yeah.
Make it so like the bye counts as like winning a guaranteed win on the week.
Right.
We can probably. I'll look into that. I'll just say.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Sam wants us to get more money.
No, I'm gonna
absolutely badger the hell out of you until it gets fixed. So
this is the first time all season that Sam has really hinted that he thinks he's gonna get that bye. When money's on the table, no more jokes.
I'm going to tell you right now, that won't get settled until Monday of next week, because 10 a.m. tomorrow I'm leaving for a family vacation for Christmas. But I won't be back till Sunday.
You just went to Mexico.
Oh, that was like 2 or 3 months ago. So
Man.
we're going. All right.
That was like 2 or 3 beers ago, baby.
Hold on. When I say family vacation, I say I'm leaving from Grand Forks, North Dakota to St. Cloud, Minnesota, which is like 4 hours south.
You're going from cold to cold and like wet.
Don't act like Minnesota doesn't dominate the Dakotas.
Don't even get me. I'm not even going to start that. Sorry.
I'm just messing, Tony.
No, it's fine. But like that'll get settled around like Monday, Tuesday next. I just wanted to say like that'll get settled next Monday, Tuesday next week before like we start playoff matchups. I just want to say it's not going to be settled right away because of my schedule, but we'll get that worked out.
So the next slide, and again, I haven't went through this, so this is new to me. We got this cool. What is that? Blue? I mean, that looks blue.
Yeah. Yes, that is.
Yeah,
blue.
That's blue, and like a white contrasting. Blue doesn't usually say death, I guess, when you think of
that is awesome. Nice touch.
But I like it. It says death match, but it's like a soothing, cooling blue color. Yeah. And that is the guys we have here. The whole reason we're doing this thing in the first place. What is
Sam's team name? Because we're Game of Jones. I know it's easier because we're 2 people, but it's always CMC. Just been Sam. Yeah, run MCM.
He's run CMC, but like the owner on this, the owner comes before the team. So
okay.
It's Sam, it's, and for all intents and purposes, it's Sam.
To be fair, for CMC to keep his branding, he had to play 6 games this year, and I don't think that happened. So we'll be going to the playoffs with a new name.
The greatest heist. the greatest heist game of Jones ever pulled. People don't know this. We hinted at it a little bit in the banter, but I think one of the main reasons Sam ended up taking CMC was because we spent hours trying to get him to trade for that third pick so that he would take CMC, and we were going to take Kyler then. We were trying to get a little bit extra because we didn't want McCaffrey. McCaffrey ends up falling because I think Don takes Jonathan Taylor, which at the time we were like, Taylor over CMC. I mean, profit. I don't know. But then Sam's like, oh, I hear that MCM guy is still there, and the rest is history.
So to be fair, I did buy a Fantasy Pro subscription, and it told me CMC was good. But I wanted Derrick Henry because I had seen Derrick Henry play at Auburn or Alabama. Yeah, Alabama. And I had seen him play, knew he was a big dude, thought he could take the hits. Saw CMC was a small guy. I mean, he's the size of 3/4 of the backs out there. But I was going to take Henry, and it doesn't look like it would have worked out either way, so I don't really care.
This would have been that weird year that Henry, finally goes down to something because he had been an absolute tank, before that. And he probably still will be when he comes back. Go ahead, Squibb.
Even the moral of the story is that Sam, even just thinking about drafting Derrick Henry, just cursed him. It's like the first year he's been gotten injured, just like in Sam's mind, considering maybe I'll give Tractorcito a try, but.
You've got to wonder, Squibb. You make a good point. Do the players that are on Sam team even want to play for him next year? They may purposefully suck, purposefully get injured to try and move off his team because
so that really Tony can buy them low for a first round pick.
That would be.
I'm just saying. I think Cooper Kupp has scored a career low since moving to my team. So.
He was on an insane pace. Like he wasn't quite on the Calvin Johnson 16 game record pace, but he was on an 1,850 yard something like that pace. Like when you got him, and has dropped off a little bit. And he's got a tough matchup this week. The Cardinals have been really good against number one receivers. They've shut down some really good receivers so far this year. But it's still Cooper Kupp. You still like him.
Did you guys see Cooper Kupp's interview where they asked him what was going through his head on some play, and he just started listing out the most technical football terms you've ever heard? I thought it was really cool. It really shows you how much goes on in the game that you just have no idea.
I'll find it. I'll send it in the Discord. It's definitely entertaining to watch.
I thought someone linked that before.
They might have, yeah. That might have been where I saw it. I thought
I linked
if you haven't seen it was really
1980s
cool.
Rams pump up song. If anybody watched that was some classic late 80s horrible music video, almost like Hulk Hogan entrance music with him fake playing the guitar. It was that bad, but it was all these old Rams players that I have no idea who they are. But that's what I know of the Rams and their technical stuff. I like watching the Manning cast though, because you can tell, you can see when the camera's on Peyton Manning and he's watching the game, you can see him looking at the defenses and picking them apart as he's doing the Manning cast. And that's the kind of football shit that I will never understand because I didn't play. I didn't play in high school. I don't know plays. I know Madden and those kind of plays and stuff, but the stuff that goes into football that you just don't understand, would blow your mind. Stuff like you were talking about with Cooper Kupp. It's not just as easy as going, okay, I'm going to run 10 yards and I'm going to square out. It's not the kind of stuff that we played as kids, Can I move this on, Tony? Is there another huge surprise after the slides? Am I okay?
No, it was just, I expected a lot more trash talk. It was literally just, oh, here we go. Death match because
Is there a write-up, Tony, or is this the?
That is the write-up. Is that
okay.
You guys get to talk about it?
Well, we haven't talked about it. Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
we haven't talked about it. I was about to say. I didn't know. I thought we were waiting on another slide.
No,
I mean, I'm already on 20 nothing.
That's it. Yeah, I'm scrolling down, and that's literally it. It's like if they were going to show you a movie trailer, and then there's nothing after the title. Is basically. What we got
literally that's all it is set you up. You guys have the death match going on. Talk about it.
I can start. So So let's all go back to the beginning of the year. Sam used to make power rankings for the league, right? He would look at stuff like how many points your starters were scoring, how many points your bench was scoring, what's the consistency week to week, stuff like that. All of a sudden, it's been like this for a while. Sam is no longer doing that, and I deposit that Sam is scared because he knows our bench is far better than his bench. He knows our consistency is better than his consistency. I think Sam's afraid that if he runs the numbers, we might score higher than him. I don't know if it's true. I think he doesn't know if it's true, but he doesn't want to find out.
He doesn't look afraid right now. Like,
I know he looks like he's about to whip out some data.
He does not look afraid.
He's running a model right on like his side monitor.
Yeah, he's running models of shit projections.
I'm terrified, mortified, petrified by you. No, honestly, guys, I don't even care about winning the league. I just did this league because baseball was, dead for a little while, and now I just don't want to pay 4 pizzas out. So if y'all let me win this week, I will bench my players in the playoffs when we meet. And y'all, I mean, I don't want to buy 4 pizzas. This is the week that I want to win. I don't think I'm going to win. I don't feel like I'm going to win. Y'all put up a lot of points. You're scoring like 130 to 140-ish every week. That's hard to beat. You're out the gate with 25 points in 3 quarters. I mean, that's solid. You don't have Mac Jones. That's
our dynasty RB2 has like 4 points, so let's not act like we're lighting it up.
Well, he just made a shot. He just took a shot at Mac Jones, Josh. I think it's
you're
time.
Not forced to play Mac Jones though, so you're free. You're free to play a guy that's going to get you some points. So, it just fell on a good week for you guys, really, and that's going to make it tough for me. And so I don't know. We'll see. What
This is a load of crap. You guys understand what's happening here is Sam is saying, okay, here's the deal. You guys let me win this week. We cancel out the pizza bets. Sam gets a bye. During his bye, Sam benches all of his players. He says, I fulfilled my end of the bargain. And then we get into the playoffs, and all of a sudden, Sam is starting to light it up again. That's what's happening.
He's projected for 175 again because Deebo Samuel's back.
It happens. It happens, guys. But no, I do want to say this in all seriousness. I know that we hate on each other. Beginning of the year, I came on the pod. I couldn't find the spreadsheet. I don't know, it's buried somewhere. But I think I projected y'all to win like 1 game and to be last place. To be fair, those were my projections. I knew nothing about football. I just pulled the fan track stuff. And I knew that it'd be a good dig at you guys. Like I said on the pod, y'all are savvy, and I thought you were going to be a good 500 team. I did not expect 11-2 or whatever you are right now. So well done. I mean, hats off. Even if y'all don't make it out of the first round, you had a great year.
Sam is really playing the overly nice card here.
I
was not ready for it.
Like the backhanded compliment. Sam is the master of these backhanded.
He's like, you might even make it out of the first round and have the opportunity.
He's like putting his hand around your shoulder, telling you how great you are, while he's like taking your wallet with the other hand. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I need another beer because I can't even watch the atrocity that's going on in front of me.
Are you gonna go get
no,
this time?
I was losing.
Oh, I've already finished all 6. Like the last one's already done. I need another one. So you guys continue.
Well, you can get a beer, Tony. I want to say at the beginning of I had done all of ABL baseball with Sam, and I knew he was a pretty bright baseball guy, right? And when we started this football league up, he really was. He's kind of like, fuck it, I'll do football because there's no more baseball going on. And then I wasn't sure how much was Sam shtick and how much he was being serious when he's like, I don't do football. I don't know. Is this guy who is this guy? Is this guy?
I didn't draft. I really don't watch running back
football
in a row. I auto drafted that.
But I believe. I mean, I think he was. I think for the most part he was being pretty serious. He wasn't a big football guy. And to not be a big football guy, but to show that you don't have to listen to football podcasts every week. You don't have to watch the games every week. You can be a good math guy and a good fantasy guy and be a good fantasy football player. Sam is 11-2. And
can I counter that?
Yeah, I can't.
I wonder what you're going to say, Squibb.
I don't think it takes a genius to.
Okay, my assistant coach. just did a hell of a job packaging the lineup for us. Okay.
I was gonna say, it doesn't
No,
really
go
take a
ahead. Go ahead,
genius.
Squibb.
I don't really think it
Without
takes a
Tony's
genius
contributions to the team, I don't know that we're
There
here
we go.
today.
I would say you're certainly not. But I would say it doesn't really take a football like wizard to look up the number one scoring and number one ranked tight end and the number one ranked receiver, and then just offer 3 first-round picks for them. And then just, they accepted it, and I all of a sudden have the number 1, the number 2, and the number 8 wide receiver in the league. It's like weird.
So y'all say that, but I actually have more picks than I started the year with. More first-round picks than I started the year with.
I believe that.
Wait a minute, am I high right now, or did Tony turn into a dog? Yeah.
No, dude, I think I can hear. Is Tony going to the bathroom? We can hear him. I'm not
Like
crazy,
I
man. We
know
can
some
hear
of you
him.
guys have been drinking. I've been smoking this whole time, but I know I'm not crazy. Like Tony turned into a dog during this podcast.
That's beautiful.
You are not high. This is my
That is a beautiful dog.
That stream though that we could
Hey,
hear that
Tony,
was coming
No,
out
Squibb
of
is
you.
correct though. Squibb makes a good point. Like Sam, but he
That's a
made
pretty
the
good
good
pose
deals.
for a
He
dog.
got the right guys. I'm not trying to fluff Sam too much. I'm just more saying like, to me, I think that's kind of, I've always said like football. I'm way more of a baseball fan, like fantasy baseball, real life baseball. But to me, oh, Jesus Christ, he just disappeared. To me, football is easier. And I'm not saying like, oh, it's
Who left?
Sam proves
Oh,
that
Josh.
it's easy, but Sam proves that you don't have to study
You don't have to
ADP
be
and
intelligent to win. You don't have to be intelligent.
look, like I said, I'm not as good at the backhanded compliment as Sam is. I was trying my hand at it, but it's not as good as
Sam
but
did
I
get
love
like
that Sam came in and crushed crushed the first year of the league.
before we
I love it.
team that was getting flack
So-
from everyone. It was Sam because Sam had no quarterbacks, nothing. He had like 6 running backs, and he took
Sam,
those
like,
6.
How
running
many times
backs
did
to
Tony say
113?
one injury to Sam? One injury to Sam, and that's it for him. That's it. Sam's 11-2. You guys are 11-2, way better than your projections. I might make double-digit wins, but it'd probably just be the 3 of us that makes it, right? Like
So-
that's all it
not
can be.
me.
Yeah, that's all it can be. If I win this week, that's all it can be. So, and I think actually my team is quite a bit outperforming Sam's initial projection. I think I was maybe. Was I supposed to be 8 and?
You were top of tier, bottom tier, top of bottom tier,
Yeah, top of the bottom tier.
or bottom of middle tier, whatever it was.
But you on the top, Alan.
Yeah, I was on the top of the bottom, but I think coming into the year, I don't know who I thought. I thought Josh and Squibb, especially talking to you guys early on, like okay, these guys know some football. Like these guys are going to be guys to look at. Yes, they're Patriots homers and stuff. That's not necessarily as big of a strike against them as it would be if it was maybe other people or whatever. If I didn't know Josh was a fantasy guy, so he's bringing in another fantasy guy. You guys were guys to look out for. I didn't know what to expect from Don or Cal or Sam. Really, if you just looked at Sam's baseball team, you would think, well, this guy's going to be a pushover in football. But he did not prove to be the case. How's that for a backhanded
See,
compliment?
Alan, that's not a backhanded compliment. That's like a
No, it's
force.
not.
That's like a right hook.
That's more of just an open hand slap in the face. But I'm loving this league. I know I've bitched a lot about it. I've been one of the most vocal people when some of these deals have been struck, and I said, man, this league is ruined. Blah 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 blah. It doesn't look like it's ruined. At least not right now. I don't think it is. I think maybe I was a little overzealous, if that's a good word, in some of those thoughts, because I think the parity is still there. I've never done football dynasty. I know first round picks probably carry a little more value than they do in baseball. I don't know if that's going to make one team dominant, but like we said, look how young Harry is. Look how young you guys are, Game of Jones. First round picks are not going to be the end all be all of this league. So I think it's been great so far.
I wanted to. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Sam. I'm running out of steam.
I do want to defend myself real quick because I'm just looking at the draft board here. I'm going to read off some names. Cooper Kupp, Deebo Samuel, Leonard Fournette, Antonio Brown, Ron Gronkowski.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. I read those names off. That's 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 round picks for me. Okay,
on.
so the
You
league
really,
made like
you really know that the guy's name is Leonard Fournette, right?
Oh, he knows. He knows.
no,
You
no.
live in Florida. You
Look,
live
Oh, he
in
knows. He
Florida.
knows.
I can screenshot it for you, Tony.
Go ahead.
There's no question that you
Anyways.
did hit
Who is Robert
ridiculously
Gronkowski?
on some guy. There's
Sam,
no taking that
can
away
you
from
read
you.
the picks before that?
No, because they're not good. They're not good at all. Wentz,
Right. So when it got
Roethlisberger-
to the point that you drafted guys whose names you recognized, and then it turns out that they
Actually,
performed.
I drafted Squibb. I pulled guys up and looked for former 1,000-yard receiving people and took them.
What's crazy
applies
is
for two of them.
you should talk to Jeff. I feel like Jeff didn't use the exact same strategy, but Jeff went with a lot of the guys who are known producers who are falling in the draft because people were focused on young guys, and Jeff missed on all of his guys. So I kind of feel I don't know how much credit you can take for this approach, Sam.
Julio Jones, Odell.
I'm just saying. I took guys.
Hey, don't mention that guy's
everybody
name.
else had 150 shots at, and they didn't take them, and they worked out. And I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm just saying those guys were drafted and turned into better capital or kept. So
you
there
could
was a
very
little luck
easily
involved.
have Jimmy Graham, OBJ, Julio Jones. Like that could very easily be your team as well, based on what you're saying.
Absolutely. So like I said, I'd rather be lucky than good any day.
I will say, I generally speaking, am a fan of the moves that Sam has made. Once he got the influx of foreign money influxed into his football club, I think he used it well. I do think, kind of going back to what Alan was saying in terms of like the longevity of the league, I think he's made a lot of moves, but I think they've been a lot of win now moves. He's gotten a lot of older guys. He still has some picks, but I think, it obviously makes him the front runner right now. But I think in a year or two, I think his team is going to be no longer the super team that it once was.
So can I say, Sam and I have been talking this whole podcast in Discord private message.
Oh no, where's
yeah.
this going?
We have a
First
trade.
of all, we have a trade. We do have a trade. This
Cheers.
is Sam Adams, Boston
Cheers.
Tigers. Cheers.
Tony's giving
Oh, wait,
26, 2027, and
No, I'm
2028.
an actual
I'm
trade.
giving nothing here. I'm giving nothing
Can
here.
I
This is
play
an actual
three-
trade.
Can
Go
I
ahead,
play
Sam.
Burrow with these other two quarterbacks or not? How does that work?
Can you what?
Oh, no.
Super flex.
Can you what? What'd you say? I'm sorry.
He's
Nothing,
asking
buddy, I'm
about
just kidding.
he's
Go ahead.
asking about Boragug. I think
I
Barack?
am.
Barack?
I'm currently crying, and I don't know what you want to say, but
Tony,
I
we can
was
see
down-
you. You're not crying.
it's not physically, but Iowa's down 20 points.
And
to
out
Iowa
of his
State.
sadness, he's going to
Yeah,
trade
out of
Sam
my
Joe
sadness.
Burrow for
Nope.
Carson Wentz
Nope.
back.
Anguish trade. That's what it is. It's
Nope.
a fury trade.
The newly minted father of 9 children, Josh Jacobs, is on the move. Josh Jacobs is going to Sam. I am getting Gabriel Davis and three second-round picks that were all mine back.
Tony, I like the trade for you. My initial
Thank you.
response, I like the trade. I was really worried you're going to say 3 fifth
Third
round.
round?
picks.
I know, that's what I thought was coming.
I'm not. I may play off a little dumb guy or whatever, but sometimes, I make a decent move or two.
So
I don't
Sam's
think
acting
anybody
like
thinks
he's not
you're dumb,
scared.
Tony.
That's a move you make when you're scared. When you see I have Freeman starting in my running back position and Game of Jones has Joe Mixon, I need to go get
Yep.
someone. That's a
Yep, no, he
scared
does.
move.
Yep.
Look, when the
And
two
he-
guys you're
that's a
playing
move.
show up
He-
in coordinated uniforms, like that,
He gets
that does
Joe-
say,
he gets- He gets Josh Jacobs and paternity.
My first round
tests
pick,
or-
and I get Gabe Davis and my second round pick.
well, I get 3 second-round picks for that.
I'm just messing
The
with you,
biggest
Tony.
thing. No, that's fine. I know.
I think
But
it's
the
a good
biggest
trade
thing-
for both. It makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense for both because I get. I love fantasy.
Najee
leagues
receiving
because-
touchdown. Let's go.
Oh, that's what we're going. Sorry, I thought there's something else going on.
Gonna need Josh Jacobs at this rate.
Yeah. I
Sam
love
just increased his
fantasy
offer to a
leagues
first.
and all that stuff because how many of you guys have seen Draft Day?
Many times. Big fan.
Yeah, it's actually like it gets some crap for being unrealistic, but it's fun. It's a fun movie.
Yeah, like, and people talk about the moves I make, which I get, but I love the trading of the high value picks to try to get who you want. He wanted that.
Tony,
Go
can
ahead. No,
I
that's
say
fine.
something as a piece of
Go ahead.
advice?
No, that's fine.
Because I agree with what you're saying, and I think that there's a lot of value in that. I mean, Josh and I did that when we traded with Jeff in like week 4 or whatever it was. We gave up Waddle, who was the top end receiver prospect, first rounder, to get Mixon and Kittle. I think your biggest thing that you can change, and it might help you out, is just kind of having some more of a plan. It seems like a lot of what you're doing is kind of random. Like you gave up 2 first, 2 third round picks for Larry Roundtree, and then the next week you really wanted him to back up Austin Eckler, which I know handcuffs are a thing, and Eckler's a really good running back. But then like the next week you traded Austin Eckler away. So I just think like, and then you dropped Larry Roundtree. So I think like in a sense like you're kind of just pissing capital down your leg.
So
when like some individual moves like are good. But
one thing that you're kind of in the blind here because you don't see what the other 3 people in this podcast see. That kind of is on parallel with my moves in the baseball league.
It does. It often seems like he has no idea what he's doing with his baseball team.
It's
either.
been at least like.
I'm just kidding, Tony.
No, it's fine.
Tony has admitted that. Go ahead, Sam.
Yeah, we give him crap, and he just abused Cal. He gave him a third or fourth and a fifth.
No. I want to make that right because I said that in Discord, and
I have no idea
it's out there in public.
Baseball stuff.
So I'll tell you, it's baseball stuff. Okay. Do you know much about baseball or not?
Yeah.
Okay. So Cal joined Cal is. He joined the league, and I traded him Ryan Mountcastle, who had a $31 salary. $31.
Is that a good portion of your league salary?
Of
260. Of 260.
Yeah.
And there's $2 inflation. Okay. So I mean,
I
33.
actually was the one who had Mountcastle to begin with. I'm not sure I got all the way over to you, Tony, but that's interesting.
So that's fine. So
I inherited
it got
my
to
team.
me. It got to me, and I traded Cal. Sorry, it was $33 Mountcastle for a first-round pick, which is 29 overall. Cal made a few more moves within the next 24 hours. He came back to me, and we talked about it, and I said, look, I will undo the trade, and I will give you Mountcastle back for the 29th overall. He said, no, I'll just he looked at another trade. And there's some other trade out there in the ABL that said giving a first for a 3rd, 4th, and 5th round pick this year. It's out there, and that's
I can tell you right now. I'm sorry, Tony. Squibb is not following this because it's impossible to without looking at this and without. No, I get it. I don't want to get too.
That's fine.
Your trade is fine. Like your trade with Cal. I know you want to make it right, but
that's fine.
It was fine. I mean, it was fine. It really was.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. I have to pee again, and I don't want to leave and come back. So I just want to kind of wrap up because we're about an hour and a half. But I do want to say, I'm again, I was the most vocal about this league being ruined. I was the one that used that word the most, and I don't think that's the case. And I'm glad that it's not because I do like this league. I don't know how seriously we want to look at expansion going forward, like bringing in fresh teams. Like I know it gets to a point in football to where you're not going to have a 30-team football league like you do in baseball. I'm in a 20-teamer, and it's really thin and difficult already, and especially like a dynasty. maybe we eventually want to go to 14 or something like that. But I'm glad it didn't crumble. It seemed like we were teetering on the edge there for like a little bit, and I'm glad it didn't fall apart.
I would echo what you said about expansion. There's really not for anything over a 14-team league, but I think within a couple years there probably will be some kind of turnover where there's people who don't really want to continue, or just obviously everyone has different levels of investment.
Commitment, yeah.
The 5 of us, or four teams in here, are probably 4 of the highest, just in terms of time and just activity in the Discord and stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if like other stuff kind of happened, but yeah, I mean, we can always table that for later.
I will say that behind the scenes, I was reaching out, and I do have 2 teams who are pretty much ready if we ever need it.
Good
so I want to reaffirm the commitment on my end, on top of the good of the league's end, that there are teams out there who are ready and willing to join the league if defactions happen. I'm not great with words, so, and I've obviously had a few beers on top of the Long Island's that I had before this to prepare myself for the inevitable Iowa loss.
The pitcher of Long Island iced tea.
Can I just jump into the conversation and say, there's been people and there's been talks about like the league being in a rough spot because there's a super team. So I just want to take the time to apologize on behalf of me and Squibb for creating such a team. We can't really help how good we are. We can't really help that we're just running circles around everyone.
Can I get a bucket over here?
That was good. That was good. That was good. I gotta hand it to you. That was
well
good.
Played. Well played.
I was like, this is gonna be like a sincere, like this is nice.
Yeah, I thought it was sincere.
Somebody's following up with me and admitting that they were being jerky and that nope.
I
did. Sam, do you have any? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do have something to say. So
good.
Alan's got to go. We've bounced around a lot of stuff here so far. We need to put our final who's gonna win it in for the weekend. And so Game of Jones thinks they broke the league, so clearly they think they're going to win this week. And I think we both scored like the same amount of points within like 3 points over the last 3 weeks. I can't go a month back because that scored you about like 50 or 60 points, and that would just throw the average off. So I'll have to keep it a rolling 3 weeks, and that's fine. I think we're about even. Trax has us at like a whatever. So it's literally a coin flip. So. What do you think, Game of Jones? Who's going to win?
I mean, we have to pick us. I mean, we're not going to do the
fake.
We're not going to do the fake
touchdown.
The fake like nice shtick. We built the team as best we could, and we're hoping and we're cautiously optimistic. But I would agree, it's probably it could certainly go either way. I would probably say it's 60-40 for you to win, but we're going to pick that the 40 is going to win out.
Are the Steelers still in the red zone?
Yes.
So this is what I'll say.
You guys have had the good Thursday.
If Najee scores on this drive, Game of Jones wins. If he doesn't, I think Sam wins. I'm putting it all right here on this drive. They're 8 yards out, second and goal.
On black, baby.
Does the trade that's been agreed upon, and I will not go back on, but the Gabriel Davis plus 3 second rounders for Josh Davis change your mind?
I think Josh Jacobs is
better
than what Sam has, or at least more reliable than Freeman. I'm not a Freeman believer, so it changes the equation a little bit. I think that it also gives Sam another piece of much needed depth where he can move his running back to the bench. So I think it helps Sam maybe not necessarily win this matchup, but it definitely helps him in the long run. Yeah.
Because against the Chiefs defense this week, the Chiefs run defense has been pretty good, actually. Like the last several weeks, they've been quite good against the run. And like, I don't know if it was earlier in the Discord, I had said, like, if Josh Jacobs doesn't score a touchdown, he's pretty bad. So he's like he has that aura of being, not that he's not a good running back, but at least this year he's been very touchdown dependent. Like his best PPR game without a touchdown was 5 catches for not very many yards and like 7 carries for 13 yards or something like it wasn't a very good game. It was double-digit points, but it wasn't a good game. And he needs that touchdown. He's probably not going to have a good game this week against the Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs fan, but the Chiefs have been better against the run than it seems like they have been. And
I do like it
in Arrowhead.
I do like the bringing it full circle. He auto drafts Josh Jacobs, gets rid of him, but now he wants him back. I think it makes for a good story.
I forget about that part. I'm not that. Fuck.
Yeah, I forgot that too.
Did you really
good,
auto draft Josh Jacobs?
It's the circle of life. Yeah, it was like the 4th round or something.
Like,
yeah.
I'm not gonna go back on my deal. I'm just asking.
Yeah, it was a real auto draft.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, because I don't think he was going to take a running back there at all.
I had already. I think that was the 4th round. I'm pretty sure I had 3 already.
PI in the end zone. They're getting the ball.
I was just about to say, update on the Game of Jones Sam match coming down to the Najee touchdown. It was 3rd and goal on the 8. I thought it was over, but there was passing interference in the end zone. It's
God.
1st and goal from
First
the 1. You got to think first touch is going to Najee. It's coming down
100%.
to this play, I think.
I'm not even watching football. And,
we got to at least keep going until we see what happens with this drive. Yeah. There's no.
So yeah, no, like I'm not gonna go back on that, and I know Sam won't. But it's Gabriel.
Shout out. Sorry to interrupt, Tony. Again, I keep interrupting Tony, but I saw the thing fluctuate. There's been one guy. Oh man,
I haven't
like
seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet, Josh.
It looks like I'm a little behind too. So it looks like they got it. I was gonna say shout out to the one guy that's been watching. I don't know if he's been watching the whole time, but we've pretty much had one person on the eyeball. I don't know who it is. I have no idea.
Hopefully it's not Don and he's still muted waiting for us to hear unmute.
It could be one of the guys. Both of the guys that I invited to watch.
Sam's like a minute behind.
Were in my wedding party.
Your wedding party?
Guys,
oh wow.
Yeah, like
one of the guys in my wedding party is watching too.
No, he's talking about the podcast. Oh, me.
No, oh, yeah.
Yeah, no. Wow, Squibb's got a guy watching the pod too? Goddamn. We're really branching out.
Well, one of them is my best man, and the other was in the wedding party as well. So
I don't know about that. I also had it open for a little bit, and I was just in it, and that's when it said 2. So I was the second one.
Okay. Fair enough.
So you got to track down which everyone didn't, and then.
So yeah, it wasn't.
Both of those guys are probably crying in their tears, and I know they're not watching now and won't ever watch because now Iowa State is up 20 points, and I probably want to go jump off a bridge into cold.
Well, thankfully you live in North Dakota, and there's no bodies of water there for there to be bridges over. So.
Oh, I live right by a river, 5 minutes away.
Don't worry, I've scouted it out many times. Yeah, I know where I'm going. When Iowa loses to Iowa State, I know just the bridge I'm driving to.
Don just said it is the dogs watching. He doesn't know how to chat on the video.
Did he mute when he needed to mute?
Yeah. Sam, do you have any like Jerry Springer final thoughts before we wrap up? I didn't want to go 2 hours, and we're nearly 2 hours anyway. I knew it was going to happen. It can't go any other way. It's just. But the only thing I'm doing is leaving my brother hanging on playing the new Warzone map on Call of Duty. So it's like, it's not like keeping me from anything. I don't have a life, so nothing to feel bad about.
Hey,
Tony, Don knows our plan. He knows the plan.
I got a chat. Sorry, you see that? It is the dogs watching. I don't know how to do the chat in the video.
Josh knows. You can see the real fear in his eyes that Don does know the plan.
Hold on.
He's been found out. Yeah.
I just want to say this because Josh knows this. Don types, you guys were hilarious in capital letters tonight. No mute needed, bro.
That's devious as hell. That's not good. Yeah, I would not want Don to know that I was scheming against him. Don is in both the AFL and ABL, so
He's a smart
he
guy.
may have just made an enemy.
Yeah.
We've got
I
a
don't
weird
think he made it.
coastal rivalry between San
We
Francisco
bond
and
over the
Boston.
Red Sox. The bond of the Red Sox can never break. So
That's true.
me and
That's
Don,
that's
So-
we
unbreakable
ride
bond.
forever.
Yeah, the
Yes.
love of Tristan
can I-
Cassis is unbreakable. yeah.
Exactly.
Can I say
I'm
that
gonna-
as a little bit of a baseball talk? You're never going to get the Red Sox from Don, and I'm never going to get the Red Sox from Frank or Cubs. Sorry,
The Cubs from Frank. Yeah.
No, I'll leave it with this 26.6.
What's that?
It's significant for two reasons. Number one, it's the number of points that McLaurin, Waller, Cooks, and Mooney scored in their last game combined. And it's also the number of points that I'm going to win by this week.
26.6.
Wow.
Hold on. Do I smell?
I smell
there?
pizza too.
Ah,
Hey, hold on. Number 2, number 3, and number 4 in this podcast have just got an influx of money to easily cover a pizza bet.
I will say that
It's house money.
we're sitting here with some of the best pizza bettors in the whole Discord, and Alan and Squibb, I believe, have never lost.
Way to
Now,
go, Alan.
we might also be sitting here with one of the worst. I won't say who, but someone
hey,
who.
you know what? I'm working on it. All right.
No, not you, Sam. No.
Tony loses extremely gracefully, though. Everybody
Yes,
knows
Tony,
that by now.
Tony
Like,
is one of the
everybody knows-
best losers I've ever
Tony's
met.
a great loser.
Yes.
There's a backhanded compliment to end the pod on. Tony, you're one of the best losers I've ever met.
He's a great sport. Is a better way of putting it.
No, but really, let's wrap this up. Everybody, guys, Squibb, Josh, Sam, I feel like we didn't get to you as much, but you're such a chill guy. Like, I think it was that shotgun.
It's an
Paps.
act,
Like
Alan.
after that shotgun Paps, he just kind of shut down and was like,
It's
"I'm just
an
gonna
act.
chill."
He's not talking because he can't handle the smoke. If you don't want the smoke, you don't come at the rocket.
That's true. Plus, that chair just looks comfortable as hell. I mean, I could easily.
Well, fuck, sorry about that. But the language part. He challenged me
You
to
talking to me? Yeah,
No, he challenged me to a Pabst Blue Ribbon black coffee that's probably half the ABV of the Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA that he
I was going to say the Pabst coffee is
like-
half the ABV of the coffee Tony normally drinks. That's what I thought that was going to be.
You pick the beer. We will both pour 2 beers into an
you'll win.
oversized stein.
You'll win. I'm not a chugger. I'll tell you this right now. I play a game that's called Awake, okay? It's called Awake. If I'm awake, I'll drink a beer. I'll drink it at my own pace. I'm not going to drink this thing like, oh.
It's
That was
a-
impressive.
It is
It was
way
very impressive.
underselling what Sam did to call it chugging.
Oh,
Sam
it's very-
inhaled
I'm-
it. It was
I'm
just
gonna
Yeah,
tell
he
you-
inhaled that
It's
thing.
gone.
That was
I'm
not
gonna
a
tell you right
chug.
now.
That was like 2 drinks.
he
And
opened
it
his
makes me
mouth,
think
took a
of
breath,
Sam
and
as
then
like
put it in.
Andre the Giant size
I
in
think
real
the
life.
most-
Like he looks
the
smaller on
most-
camera,
Hey,
but Sam is
hey,
really a
hold-
behemoth.
Hold on. Time out. Zach Morris, time out. Because, that's rebooted now. I didn't even watch how fast Sam inhaled this. I'm just
Dude, it
trying
was
to
insane.
pop.
It was
I think
Pop.
the best way to say it is he sipped the beer in one sip, just the whole thing. The
Probably.
whole, like, 15 ounce.
Probably.
And it was gone.
It's just boom, and it was over. I was like, "There's no way." And then he put the can up to his head, and it was clearly it was empty. And then it was like, "Holy shit, he really did do that!" Like, wow, yeah, I couldn't. Even in my
Go ahead,
drinking days,
Sam.
I couldn't do that. So,
Sam,
Yeah.
what do you want
What?
to say? I'm sorry. Is there something you want to
Oh,
say?
nothing. I said it. I'm going to win by 26 points. I think
No, yeah.
Fantrax agrees. I mean, the only thing left in this podcast is for the games to be played. And the pizza for them to eat that they won for their season bet, of course.
11-2, 9-4, out of the playoffs.
Not yet.
Thank
He
you,
has to
everybody.
outscore
Looking
Mark
good for the
Oh.
consolation bracket.
But he has to win by- he has to-
Yeah, but in his own words, looking good for the
These
consolation bracket.
guys,
Yeah.
we're not giving enough possibility to the chance that he's going to outscore Mark by approximately 75.973 points.
No. And the plan.
Oh,
We can't
shit.
forget the plan.
Okay.
What's the plan?
The plan where we can't say it because Don's listening.
Yeah, Don is
okay,
still
okay.
the guy here. But yeah, thanks again, everybody. I'm
Hey,
calling it a night.
Hold on. Can I just say?
Oh, wait.
I want 30 seconds. What is
What?
the Monday Night Football update?
Steelers just got the ball
I don't
back.
know. Mine's
Beginning
frozen.
of the fourth quarter, it's a 29-14 game.
29-14 in favor of the Vikings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm jumping into the Red River. The Iowa State Cyclones are currently beating the Iowa Hawkeyes 72-51 with 3 minutes and 12 seconds left.
So if you don't see
don't
Antonio on Discord tomorrow,
If
we
you
know.
can make the playoffs, they can come back.
It's not happening. Not happening.
All right, guys.
Not
Good pod. This is fun, and good luck. Good luck to the most of us going forward. All right. Thanks, guys.